right, y'all, so I wanted to talk about a new show. I don't know if I'm going to continue to watch this show, but I was interested, so I checked it out and I wanted to talk about it. Make sure you are liking, commenting, subscribing. The notifications are on. Hop in the comments and let me know what you think about different parts of the episode and different topics that we're going to talk about. So, Tia, My Next Act. So this is a show that I'm starting to pick up on. It's primarily about her divorce and how she has moved on to the next chapter in her life. I got a sense that that's what it was about, but I didn't know that that was all she was going to talk about. But then again, this is just the first episode. They gave us a lot to unpack in this first episode, so let's get to it.
I'm the type of girl you call wifey. Yeah.
What does the cat do?
Meow.
So the first episode picks up about a year and a half after her divorce, and she's sad, and she's like, you know what, I'm alone, I'm in this house by myself a lot of times. I wanted a family that was connected and combined and all in one household, and it's not like that anymore, and I have to take my kids to see their father, and it makes it very real for me. And she got emotional, and then she was like, I'm not as close with my sister as I would love to be. Like, I can't go see her. I wish I could call my sister and talk to her and this, that, and the third. But that's just not where we are anymore. Now, I think what threw people off, because I got to give you a little piece, Miss Tia. I think what threw people off, and this is before we had even seen the full episode, was the fact that, like, I don't give a damn if my twin lived in North Dakota and I'm here in Texas. The least I can do is call you, FaceTime you, video chat you, texting. You saying you can't even call her, and y'all in the same state, just on different ends of it. And y'all can't call each other? You said you got a brother that live in Tennessee. I'm sure you call and talk to him. You can't call your sister, your twin sister. I get that y'all live different lives. I get that the proximity of where y'all stay is a little bit further. I get that there's distance in between y'all, physical distance. So y'all can't physically just pop up at each other's house. Y'all can't just physically come in and do as you please because y'all both have families and different lives. I get all of that, but you can't call your sister. Because I know you can call Natasha. Because right after you said you couldn't call your sister and you wish you were closer with your sister, you picked up the phone and you called Natasha and told her the very thing that I'm pretty sure Tamara would have loved to hear. There's something deeper there that we need to unpack, and you doing this press run to promote this show, I was just talking about proximity because she's in Napa Valley and I'm in LA. I think you know it's a little bit better to know that we are smarter than that. Yeah, so there's that. I think that there's something bigger to unpack with that because, something in the milk ain't clean. So the red carpet event, yeah, it was awkward. I think with anybody that is no longer dating someone, and if you run into them, even if you are cordial and on good terms, it's gonna be awkward, because I know what's going on, you know what's going on, they know what's going on. So we know that all eyes are on us. And like you said, you initially wanted to avoid him and you felt that he was uncomfortable. Why make the hug awkward? It was, it on both of y'all's end. He was, you were, it was very like, this ain't funny. This ain't funny. We are watching the disillusion of a family right before our very eyes. This is not funny. And for you to just downplay that and first of all, the whole show is about this failed marriage. Yet you won't tell us why the marriage failed. I think we can pick up context clues and we'll get into that later, but I think that that's weird that you won't divulge what the show is even about. That's what the show is about. The divorce. What happened and how you're picking up the pieces and moving forward. But we don't even know what pieces are lying on the ground. And this is where her privilege starts to show. She was like, I signed the divorce papers and went straight to set. That's what everybody who gets a divorce does. Most Americans, most everyday, I am everyday people that get divorced, sign their divorce papers, and go on about their lives. I still gotta pick up the kids from school. I still gotta fix them dinner. I still gotta go to work to pay for this damn divorce. Who takes a vacation after a divorce? Who? I'm so yes, it's traumatizing. It's painful. But it's life. Such is life. This is not something that makes you eligible for short-term disability. Like, it's a divorce. It's not a marriage. A honeymoon or a period of celebration is not required after. You just dissolve the marriage and keep it moving. And you've been a star for too long, girl, to feel like that's required. No. You sign them papers and you keep going. Just like you would any other court situation. You don't stop working whenever you go to court for anything. If you're suing somebody, if you're licensing something, you go to court, handle your business, and you keep on with your day. That's what you did with your life. And here's where I say we start to kind of see what's going on without her saying it. She got emotional at the fact that she realized just now that she has a choice. She said, choice, I heard voice. You were not being heard. You were not being respected. And you probably didn't feel seen and valued in your relationship. To say that you finally have a choice insinuates that when in the marriage, you didn't. For me to interpret that you finally have a voice means that in the marriage, you didn't. That may be the problem right there. We are sitting here trying to figure out what's going on. Why are you trying to figure it out? God had already worked it out. Because that kind of paints the picture right there. She wasn't valued. That it didn't have to be any infidelity. But if you're not appreciating what you got at home, aren't you out doing something else? Not always, but I wouldn't be surprised. I really wouldn't be surprised. The girls' night. So Tia calls Essence Atkins, her assistant, and I think another girl over. And they just kind of have a girls' night, wind down, and talk. Tia was like, I'm tired of being alone. My kids are with their dad. I'm just in the house by myself. Let's talk. And they really shared some gems with Tia, especially Essence being someone who has been divorced and has walked this journey before. So she was able to give her some tidbits on the ones and the twos. I don't know about y'all, but I was just looking at Essence's hairline and I was just like, do she get an air job? Because I don't know. I've never seen a woman with the whole like this, and this. You know, like she really took her hairline from her father and I've never seen that before. And her hair was pulled back so you really saw it defined. And I really don't even know what she said. I promise you, I don't even know what she said, but I know she gave sound advice and I know that she is anchored in Christ. So whatever she gave her was advice that she could use. But I was just lost by the hairline, and I'm just being honest. The assistant brought out this chart and was like, let's build you a man. You built Corey. And I give you grace because you said Corey was your first everything. You weren't allowed to date until you were 18. Then you met Corey. Then you lost your virginity. Then you got married. And before Corey, it was Tamara. So you really were never alone. You gotta breathe again. Like, you gotta realize that there's more out there. You gotta open up your palette to things that you may not think that you're interested in. Date all types of people. Date a full-figured man. Date a man who's a little bit more, not ripped, because then he's obsessed with fitness and then you're not, and so different interests, so there's a problem right there. But try a man who has defined muscles and who, goes to the gym maybe 2-3 times a week, just to maintain. Try a man who's not in the industry. Try maybe a different race. It worked for Tamara. I know you pro-black, but a little bit of Cubano may not hurt, a little Puerto Rico may not hurt, maybe from a different I don't know, because I think Corey was from Chicago, so I was gonna say from a different state, but girl, that didn't work for you. But maybe women. I don't know, girl. You know, just, you know, whatever works for you, let it work for you, you know, but open up your palette to be able to receive anything. Because if you just keep yourself pigeonholed to the Coreys of the world, that's all you'll ever get. Tia has an all-white party that the assistant threw for her. Love the all-white party. Shout out to Terrell for being a good friend. And shout out to that Sheila Jackson Lee braid that Tia had. Like, I really loved seeing it, especially with losing such a great woman recently. To see that braid revived and her legacy live on really touched my spirit. So shout out to your love of Sheila Jackson Lee and your support of Congress, and go out and vote. So while Tia is getting ready, she gets a Google alert to her phone about it. You said in the beginning of this episode that you were hyper obsessed, and you translated that to being fixated on people's opinion. I don't think that went away. Because why in the hell would you have a Google alert on your phone for every time something about you is put out? Why would you even want to know that? Given the climate that we live in and how salacious and untrue and unfair the media is, why would you even want to concern yourself with that when you have so much love surrounding you? You get a Google alert about you hugging a man and it happened to be your manager. Oh my God, see, this is what I'm talking about. You would have never even known about that. You would have never even known about that. But you set up your phone to get Google alerts about you. It can't just be regular Google alerts, because, bitch, you hugging your manager, you hugging any man. You could be on the street patting your pusnani, and it still wouldn't make the front page of a Google alert. Like, I don't know, girl. I don't know. But I do love the energy that was at the party. I love that everybody came to support you and to be there for you. And it really wasn't about the divorce. It was just about making sure that Tia was good. And that is real friendship. That is real love. What I did notice, though, none of your family was there. Tamira couldn't drive down to surprise you. That would have been the ultimate surprise to me. It was like, you are upset about not being close with Tamira, but you're making no efforts to mend that relationship or to get what you are feeling you're lacking. And I don't know. People were coming out with clips about how you were pretty much the same way when y'all had a show together. So it's not really surprising that y'all are not as close now. But I definitely expected, you know, Tamira to be there. And according to the red carpet interview she did, she's not on the show at all. Phone, visual, a pop-up, a picture. She is not on the show at all. And I get that as an individual, you kind of want to break away sometimes and be your own person. But Tia and Tamira is a brand together. Y'all have built brands outside of each other, but y'all are a brand together. So you having Tamira be a part of the show is just like Beyonce being at Coachella and having the other two members of Destiny's Child pop up. The other two new members, current members of Destiny's Child, because there are 5. But yeah, I just, the psychic medium. Now, when Edna Mode showed up, I said, oh girl, here we go. Because I am one, and this is coming from somebody who has lost 2 brothers and another multitude of family members in my lifetime. I feel like as a Christian, you get the messages that they're trying to send to you. You get them. You feel them with different visuals and different signs and wonders, and sometimes you hear their voice, sometimes a song that y'all share, a memory will come. They communicate with us very well if we are connected to the Father and, you know, connected in the spirit realm. I don't need somebody who don't know shit about me or them to tell me what's going on between our relationship and what they're trying to tell me. And I know for my people, they probably be stubborn like, I'm here, but I ain't got nothing to say to her. To you. You know, like, I'll tell you. Just listen. Like, I don't know. Like, you want more. And it was very Surface level stuff. You want more children. How did she know I want? Girl, who can't tell you want more kids? You love your kids. You love children. You probably have said it before many moons ago and don't even remember. And then the shit about the grandma, saying that a few years within your marriage, you knew there was a problem and you made a mistake. Witchcraft is real. Spirits are real. So that may have really been, communicated to that medium. Because I was kind of shook about that. But I guess that's just the Christian way. A lot of wives kind of know early on that this ain't what I signed up for. But you try to love people through it. You try to pray them through it. We try to take on the role. I'm nobody's wife. Y'all try to take on the role as a healer when you already have your own healing to do. Especially when you have kids to nurture and to make sure that they don't have wounds that they need to heal from. Babysitting your husband's emotions shouldn't be one of those jobs, because he is in control of his own emotions and his reactions. So he should heal himself enough to be healthy for you. And I think that wasn't happening. And you knew that. And because you didn't feel like you had a voice or a choice, you didn't say anything. You just dealt with it and was just a good wife for a very long time until you just couldn't take it no more. And that is the ticking time bomb that we need to detonate in everybody's life. Stop waiting until you can't take it anymore. And then you just blow up and it's just like, I'm out of this. I can't do this anymore. Maybe your marriage to Corey would have worked. Maybe it'll come back around and it will work. But maybe it would have worked in the past had you been more vocal. You are always the more vocal twin. We saw that on, what's crazy? On Sister Sister, you were more Tamara and Tamara was more Tia. But in real life, Tamara is you on the show. And you are Tamara. So weird. I don't know if that was intentional or what, but you are more vocal in real life, but you are more docile on the show. She was more vocal on the show, but more docile and conservative in real life. Speak up. You are very vocal and very expressive about a lot of things. Sometimes we feel like you share too much, but be vocal about how you feel. And I feel like had you been vocal and really just discovered an effective way to communicate your feelings, him as well, y'all probably would have been able to work this out. Because I can tell that there's still love there. There's pain there because it didn't work out. But at the same time, I don't know if the pain is from, this is all I know, this is my whole world and my world is crashing. Or if there's pain because you really wanted this to work. It's weird, dating and marrying your first and only your first. You don't get to explore and see what else is out there to see if, is this really for me? The first time you tried a burger, you probably tried a regular hamburger. You didn't know that it could be better with lettuce and tomatoes and onions and pickles and bacon and cheese. You didn't know that there could be so much more than this one little Happy Meal small burger that is just meat and pickles and ketchup and mustard. So I don't want you to think, basically, that all there is to life is this plain ass burger. Because there are some gourmet burgers out there that will blow you off your feet. And who's to say that Corey can't become that gourmet burger? And I don't care about myself my food. But you just need more than a Happy Meal right now. And I think, I don't know. I don't want to get in your household because I don't know if you tried to speak up and felt like you didn't have the voice. Because there were times where y'all did the black love thing where you tried to speak up. He was like, I'm still talking. He was like, okay. You could tell that there was order of I'm the man, I'm the head, I'm the king, you respect me. That's what that moment said. Just like that moment where Tina Knowles was like, he ain't perfect, and Richard was like, I'm not. She was like, oh no. That was the beginning of the end right there. But anyway, this episode gave what it gave, so it gave what it had. Assisting, you wrong as fuck for trying to burn that dress. Did you buy it? First of all, you assist. If I didn't tell you to go get the dress, you don't go get the dress. That's why I'm so glad Tia was like, no ma'am, this was handcrafted for me. Others came after because they were inspired by thee. You will not. No ma'am, I'm keeping my dress. I can repurpose this dress. This is an all-purpose dress. Come on, baby boy. No ma'am. But yeah, this episode gave what it gave, so I gave it what I had. Make sure you are liking, commenting, subscribing, and that the notifications are on. Same place, same time.